Hi, today we're going to learn how to use VPN to stay secure and private online. Wow, this is a tough job. Just kidding. When you use NordVPN, all it takes is just a single click. See for yourself. Click, and you're browsing securely on public Wi-Fi. Click, your ISP can't see what you do online. Click, and you're in a different country. Well, virtually. Any device you have there, NordVPN has you covered. Everything else is just details. But if you care to know more, NordVPN has more than 5,000 servers all over the world. It protects your sensitive data with advanced encryption, shields you from malware and phishing sites, and keeps no logs of your online activity.
Click link in the description and get 68% discount for your first order. Preparation. Purchase your Busch Gardens Williamsburg tickets online or over the phone before visiting the park, particularly if you are visiting from outside the U.S. This will save you time when you arrive at the park, and you shouldn't have to wait in any ticket office queues. Preview the attractions in the park before your visit. Try previewing each attraction, ride, or show on YouTube, or take a peek at the ride-through photos from others. Learn from what others see. This can help decide which rides and attractions will take priority during your visit, or which attractions you'll feel you or your family will want to miss. Busch Gardens doesn't allow videotaping on any ride without prior approval by park staff. Ask them for permission. They potentially will. For most rides on YouTube, you'll need to include a true statement that says that you received permission before riding, as anything that doesn't will get taken down if found by Busch Gardens staff. This is to ward off those who post their journey for others, so others don't have to ride if they don't want to. They want these videos to be only a preview of the park's attractions and nothing more. Pack water, snacks, money, and most importantly, your park tickets before you leave for the park that day. Entering the park, decide if you truly want to visit the Busch Gardens Williamsburg. Discuss some of your other options for the other nearby area, including Colonial Williamsburg and the Navy base in the nearby city of Newport News and Hampton Roads. Virginia Beach and bordering Virginia towns offers various aquariums and beachfront. If you head about 2 hours northwest, you'll head right into Washington, D.C., with its many museums and historical attractions. Drive and park at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. The address to Busch Gardens Williamsburg is 1 Busch Gardens BLVD, Williamsburg, VA 23,185. The cost to park at this park's parking lot is per day, though there are multi-day options for instead if purchased at once. Enter the park. Walk up the path that leads from the parking lot to the park entrance gate. Busch Gardens Williamsburg only has one gate near the England land in the park. Along the path, you'll see other houses for rental equipment such as toddler strollers, wheelchairs, and the like, and even a few guest relations counters that can help give you information about the park, along with several service counters that can help steer you in the right direction during the day. Look at the setup of Busch Gardens Williamsburg. This park is divided into about 10 different lands themed onto European-named countries. These lands include England, Italy, Party Italia, Oktoberfest and nearby Germany, New France, Ireland, Scotland, and Jack Hanna's Wild Reserve. England, turn the corner to your left and walk towards either the train station or Skyride. These will be discussed in a few moments. Take a trip on the Skyride from the England station. The slow-moving bucket-style Skyride will take you to 3 stations set apart in a triangular path at France and Germany, and then back to England. However, at each leg of the journey, you must debunk your bucket and reboard if you continue to each of the other locations on the Skyride route. Sometimes you'll hear this station's Skyride building called the Aeronaut Skyride Station. Don't worry, although it's not marked on the station entrance. Some visitors still use its much older name to designate this Skyride building instead. Take a very slow trip along the outer route of the park on the Busch Gardens train. Although this station is called the Tweedside train station in the English portion of the park, It also travels to the Festa train station in Festa, Italia, and towards the Caribou train station in New France. Ride Escape from Pompeii, the only extreme love flume in this park. Although much similar to Universal Studios' Jurassic Park ride, and along with SeaWorld's Journey to Atlantis, this extreme love flume is just as extreme and has a surprise at the end that will indeed get you soaked. Italy and Festa Italia. Walk into the Italy section of the park and ride any or all of the 3 attractions available to you. You may also go over top of the train tracks with the trestle bridge that leads you to Festa Italia. For a few more choices, this will be discussed later in this article. Ride the Roman Rapids ride, Busch Gardens' version of a rapid rafting ride. Although this ride isn't as bad as many other rapid rafting rides in the United States, this is one ride that rather mean for the area on which it is stationed shouldn't be missed. You can find this ride to the opposite side of Apollo's Chariot Way past the Turkish Delight attraction and even past the Party train station. In this area, it is next to Rapids Gifts. Ride the Tempesto roller coaster. This ride is located in Festa Italia, technically, near Apollo's Chariot former location. Watch for the blue-colored track. If you don't visit any other roller coaster and love roller coasters, this is one that can't be missed on any Busch Gardens Williamsburg visit. Ride the Apollo's Chariot roller coaster if you didn't ride Tempesto. Find the purple-colored track roller coaster in back of Tempesto along a separate path in the Festa Italia area of the park. However, take note that this ride is older than Tempesto, so its mechanics are based on older style mechanics. Apollo's Chariot was one of the major highlights of a Busch Gardens trip in the 1990s, but has become a little less popular now with Tempesto nearby. Jump aboard the Busch Gardens train at the Festa Italia train station nearby, and depending on what you did earlier in the day, take a ride aboard or skip it and continue the circular walk of the park towards the Oktoberfest area across the Archway Bridge, past the Il Teatro di San Marco and Gelato di San Marco marketplace areas. Oktoberfest in Germany. Drop in on the freefall ride that Busch Gardens calls Mock Tower. Roller coast through on Verbolten just after walking through the Arch Bridge from Italy, with some of the ride being indoors and covered, and being in a steep decline outdoors. This one is rather scary. But if you are in for extreme thrills, you'll definitely love this one. If you are planning to ride, take a longer look at the interior ride queue. This is one queue that is not to be missed. Bump some cars in the bumper cars ride that this park calls its Der Autobahn ride. They also have a junior bumper cars ride meant for smaller children who can't quite reach the pedals yet, but understand that this ride is fun. Das Festhaus is the only place in Busch Gardens Williamsburg where beer is served, but you don't have to get a beer if you don't want it. Although there is no stop of the train in this area, you can literally see this building from the train ride around the park. At various times throughout the day, there is a German-themed show that is performed here. So if you're hungry and want to take a break or enjoy a show, check the board outside for showtimes and enjoy your meal during that time period. Ride the Curse of Dark Castle after digesting your food. Although the ride is slow, its inside is very dark and intense for those who can't stand the darkness and loud and unappealing sound effects for many who dare enter. And to add to that, this ride features 3D graphics that make this ride rather scary for most who visit. But it does have some great taste for those who can stomach all the previous information. Take in Kinder Carousel for the only real ride in this area besides the Sky Ride and Rhine River Cruise. However, note that this ride is a carousel ride with some German theming. Make your way to the Sky Ride and take this ride around the park to its other 2 locations in England and France. This area includes a dragon egg cart Ferris wheel called the Eggery Diggory, a flying dragon ride called Flutter Splutter, a kid-themed boat ride called Chug a Tug, a family-friendly music express ride called Bug a Dug, a treehouse, and a water play area called Brook. France sections. Swing by the Alpengeist inverted roller coaster. Although on Alpengeist, You don't have a footplate under your feet when you ride. The few helixes you take in on this ride make this ride the only true load flume in the park called Le Scoot. Board the train from this area of the park towards the back of the marketplace area if you haven't yet boarded for a trip around the park. Look for the Caribou train station in the back of the New France area. Ride Busch Gardens' official scrambler ride called La Catapult directly next to the train station to its left as you come out from the train station. Watch a showing of Spark presented by Coca-Cola at the Royal Palace Theatre. This show is only performing until August 16th, so be sure to check it out before then if you're there. Ride the Griffin. This very long, dive roller coaster is rather new but very intense. Most people come out saying this roller coaster is amazing or stunning all in itself. Ride the Skyride if you haven't already passed through the other park areas, including at the Germany and England stations. Jack Hanna's Wild Reserve. Rest for a few moments to observe a moment of pure peace at the Lorikeet Glen. Watch the birds and take a few moments out to cool off from some of the intense rides you've visited today. Learn a little about wolves in the wild in the Wolf Haven and Wolf Valley attractions. Catch a one-on-one question and answer session at the gate with a trainer. Watch the bald eagles at Eagle Ridge attraction. Remember that the bald eagle is the United States national symbol, and so it's nice to see these birds in a habit close to their own without them wandering too far away from being seen. Ireland. Watch a showing of the Castle O'Sullivan play/attraction. Although it's nothing but a stage play, this is a great theater to rest tired feet after a long day of walking and riding other rides and attractions in this park. You aren't too far from the entrance exit, but your nut can't possibly be quite finished just yet. Fly on Europe in the Air attraction. Europe in the Air is styled after the attraction Soarin' at Walt Disney World and Soarin' over California at Disneyland and should not be missed. A warning to some people with certain ailments, recent pregnancies and surgeries is mentioned at the entrance, but this is definitely a ride for everybody else to enjoy. Scotland. Visit with the Clydesdale horses, owls, border collie dogs, and owls and other animals just after passing over the bridge from Ireland to Scotland. Ride the Loch Ness Monster. You have to save the best and oldest remaining ride for last, but be careful if you don't like roller coasters that take you to unknown places in the dark at one point but for several minutes. The Loch Ness Monster is Busch Gardens' oldest steel roller coaster still in operation today, and is also the only remaining ride in the Scotland area of the park.